Hi guys, Lisa Edwards of Exclusive Career Coaching here, and today I want to talk about how you can boost your leadership creds at work, specifically with stretch assignments. So let me kind of define what a stretch assignment is. This is a project that you take on within your current role that allows you to do one of three things, at least one of three things. You want that stretch assignment to either allow you to show, grow, or know. What do I mean by that? If there is an underutilized skill, a skill that you possess that you really want to use going forward in your career that is either not utilized or underutilized in your current role, then you're going to want to take on a stretch assignment to demonstrate to the powers that be that you have that skill and that you're very good at that thing. So that would be a show stretch assignment. A grow stretch assignment would be an area that you don't have expertise in, you don't have skill in, but you want to develop it. So oftentimes these show up when someone wants to move to the next level in their career and there's an aspect, let's just say it's budget management. That's the one piece of the puzzle that is kind of holding them back from getting the next step in their career. So they seek out a grow stretch assignment that is specifically around budget management. So that's a grow assignment. The last one is know. So is there someone or something that you need to know in order to get to the next level? Do you need to spend more time in proximity to a leader in another department? Do you need to know how another department works, or maybe some other aspect? For example, oftentimes leadership groups that companies will put a leadership like team together or leadership program together, and it's to expose people to other areas of the company so they can know about those and know how all the company works together. So that's show, grow, and know. So let's think of some examples here of these stretch assignments. So maybe you take on the responsibility of managing volunteers or summer interns, college interns. Maybe you manage a project. Typically, if you've never managed a project before, they're going to give you something very small that doesn't have huge repercussions if things don't go well. They're going to give you something small, see how you do before they let you take on something bigger. Maybe you get a chance to participate in the strategic planning process, whether it's for your department or for your division or even the company as a whole, but you have some small role in the strategic planning process. Maybe you get to help with a turnaround. So there's some part of the company, some aspect of or department that is underperforming. There are problems there, and maybe there's a piece of that you can help with to turn that around. And then finally, could you be useful in organizing an event, whether it's a company-wide meeting, some sort of meeting that an organization or an event that involves the external, like the community, if that's what your skill set is. So those are just some examples of stretch assignments that you might take on, again, within your current role. And I want to give you 4 of my best tips for how to make the most of those stretch assignments once you get them. So number 1, you want to bring a beginner's mindset. When someone puts you into a stretch assignment, they know that you're in new territory. So you have the perfect opportunity to be a beginner, to ask the questions, the foundational questions that you should ask. And in fact, if you don't ask them, you're going to have kind of building blocks that are going to be missing from that experience and from your knowledge going forward. So you are a beginner and you're expected to ask the basic questions. So bring that beginner's mindset. Don't try to come in like a know-it-all. It will not serve you. Number 2, which is really closely related to that one, is be inquisitive. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to show that you don't know what you don't know, and ask questions until you have the clarification and understanding that you need. Number 3, absolutely over deliver on this thing that you're given. So typically if it's a stretch assignment and it's your first stretch assignment, it's going to have a pretty small scope. It's going to be a pretty contained kind of project. You want to over deliver on that so that your boss or the other decision makers in your company will feel comfortable that you're ready for a little bit bigger project, and then eventually, of course, we want this to lead to an actual promotion. And then number 4, you want to utilize the springboard. And I'm going to actually give you some suggestions of ways that you could do that, because you want people to know that you did this thing. You want them to know that you were successful in this thing. So some of the things that you can do to leverage your stretch assignment beyond just leveraging them at work. So, right, having a conversation with your boss once it's happened. How can we do X with this new knowledge that I have, or this new experience? What can we do? How can we leverage that? Can we leverage it with a promotion? Can we leverage it with a pay increase? Can we leverage it with expanded responsibilities within my current job? I also want you to leverage that thing externally so that you get noticed beyond your department for that thing. So here are some examples. A write-up in the company newsletter or the city paper. And this is all going to depend on how big a deal this thing was that you did and what your company culture is, that kind of thing. But do you want to write up in the company newspaper, newsletter, or the city paper? What about a write-up in your industry or professional journal? That's going to be usually a thing that's a little bit bigger in scope, where you're getting recognition by your professional associations. A written commendation from your stretch assignment supervisor. So particularly if that supervisor is not your boss now, get something written from them. I like to see those put into LinkedIn, because that's a great place to sort of deposit any kind of recommendations. They're there for the public to see, and you can access them later in other capacities. Also, a conversation with your current boss about your next stretch assignment, or a promotion, or a lateral move to another area of the company. That's all going to depend on really what was your goal to begin with when you took the stretch assignment. And then now after the stretch assignment, where are your thoughts in regards to your future role in the company? And then finally, inclusion on your resume and LinkedIn profile. So as I said, not only do I want that recommendation to go on LinkedIn, but if you've just finished a big project, that needs to show up in your professional experience section. You might want to mention it in your summary section of LinkedIn, and you want to keep a file. If you're not going to update your resume at that time, you want to have that brag file, so you tuck that in there, and then when you do update your resume, you've got the salient points of that thing you did to include in your new resume, your updated resume. So I hope this helps in terms of the idea of boosting your leadership creds and your potential for bigger, greater assignments with your current employer by taking on stretch assignments. See you later.